And the beach access law that has millions of you outraged. Some lawmakers are straight up confused. So tonight we have three lawmakers with three different stands. One is sticking by his vote. A second wants to repeal it. And a third says he really didn't understand the full impact of all of this. So take a look at the law that has so many people just outraged tonight. You are free to walk along wet sand or near the high tide line, but you could be caught trespassing for walking on dry sand near some buildings. And this all goes into effect on July 1st. At 6 o'clock, we spoke to State Senator Darrell Rousson. He wants to repeal or change parts of the law that he finds confusing. And Katie, someone else says that there is a bigger misunderstanding here.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot going on here. Josh Sidorowicz, you spent most of the night sorting all this out. What's your takeaway on this?
Confusion. How about that? So I sat down tonight with Representative Wayne Newton. He voted for this law. He stands by that decision. He supports it the way it is now. The only problem he sees is that people just don't understand it.
I want to be clear that people still can use the beaches today as they did yesterday, and they can do it tomorrow. None of that's going to change. What will change is that local government will not be able to enact ordinances on their own.
What he means is that if a local government is looking to pass an ordinance that impacts your access to beach property, a judge would have the ultimate say. Newton argues it's better for taxpayers because the idea is to avoid potential lawsuits from property owners against local governments.
What this did is streamline the process. So instead of someone having to sue and go to court, it already has to go to court. You'll still be able to use this sand beach. You won't have anybody erecting fences or blocking your access. That's not going to change. What will change is that the county won't be able to enact a customary use ordinance without one more level of scrutiny, which is the courts.
All right, so it sounds like Newton is standing by his vote, but some lawmakers say they want to get rid of this law. Is that right?
Some do. Like we mentioned Rousson at the top of the show here, while others are in, we'll call it sort of a wait-and-see mode at this point, like Representative Joe Gruters, who I spoke to on the phone tonight. He told me, he says if this winds up having unintended consequences, if it winds up limiting public access, that is when he says he would look into file something that might counter this along with Newton here.
All right, a lot of conditions there, Josh. Thanks. We will stay tuned on this one, but on Facebook Live tonight, this was not super popular. Some of you say, though, it's necessary. Chris, you said you're an attorney, and your perspective is people end up doing things like walking through your home's side yards to get to the beach. I and others I worked with have regularly had to stop the public from trying to turn someone's yard into a public right-of-way. But Dale, you hate this law. This is not what Florida needs, you say. People up north are not going to want to come here and pay to go to the beach. So what do you think? And have you been asked by a private property owner to leave the beach? Join the conversation on the 10 News Facebook page.